Ladies and gentlemen, life is not for the faint of heart. The path to greatness is not paved with ease, but with tests designed not to destroy you, but to define you. These tests break most people because they are meant to reveal what you're truly made of. Are you ready to face them? The test of delay will challenge your patience. When it feels like you're waiting forever for your breakthrough, remember, waiting time is not wasted time. It's preparation time. Don't let frustration rob you of the blessings that come at the right time. The test of delay is one of the most challenging trials you will face in life. It's not just about waiting, it's about what happens to you while you wait. Delay has a way of exposing your character, testing your endurance, and revealing whether your faith is truly as strong as you claim it to be. It's easy to believe when everything is moving according to your plan, but what happens when your timeline is disrupted? What happens when the breakthrough, the opportunity, or the answer you've been praying for seems to be taking longer than you expected? That is the moment when the real test begins. Delay is not denial, but it can feel like it. When you've been striving, working, and giving everything you've got, and yet the results don't show up, doubt starts to creep in. You start to wonder if you're on the wrong path. You question whether your efforts are even worth it. The silence can feel unbearable, and you begin to wrestle with thoughts of giving up. But here's the truth: delay is often the tool used to prepare you for what you've been asking for. It's in the waiting that growth happens. The test of delay teaches you patience, and patience is not passive. Patience doesn't mean sitting idly by doing nothing and simply hoping for things to change. Patience means continuing to sow seeds even when you don't see any fruit. It's about staying faithful in the small tasks, even when the big reward hasn't yet manifested. It's about showing up every single day, despite the lack of evidence that your work is paying off. Patience is the willingness to trust that the process is as important as the promise. Delay also exposes what you truly believe. When the wait feels endless, do you still believe that what you're working toward is possible? Do you still have faith that the dream you're chasing is worth it? Or do you let frustration, bitterness, and doubt take over? During the delay, your mindset becomes your most powerful weapon. If you choose to focus on the obstacles, the waiting period will break you. But if you choose to focus on the lessons, the waiting period will make you stronger. Sometimes delay isn't about the external circumstances at all. It's about internal readiness. You may think you're ready for the next level, but the truth is there are things within you that still need to be refined. Delay is not punishment, it's preparation. It's a time for you to develop the skills, resilience, and wisdom necessary to handle the blessing when it comes. Imagine receiving the very thing you've been waiting for, only to realize you're not equipped to sustain it. The delay is God's way of ensuring that you're not just blessed temporarily, but that you're positioned for lasting success. There's also a profound humility that comes with enduring the test of delay. Waiting strips away the illusion of control. It reminds you that no matter how hard you work or how meticulously you plan, some things are beyond your ability to manipulate. This humility isn't meant to make you feel powerless. It's meant to teach you to rely on a power greater than your own. It's in the waiting that you learn to trust the timing, even when it doesn't align with your schedule. The test of delay is not easy. In fact, it breaks most people because they mistake waiting for stagnation. But delay is never wasted time if you allow it to shape you. Every moment of waiting is an opportunity to deepen your character, strengthen your resolve, and align yourself with your purpose. It's in the delay that you learn to persevere, and perseverance is what separates those who quit from those who succeed. So when you find yourself in the season of delay, don't give up. Don't let impatience drive you to make decisions that could derail your destiny. Instead, lean into the process. Trust that the waiting is working for you, not against you. And remember, just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. The delay is simply the prelude to the breakthrough. Stay the course. The wait is worth it. The test of rejection is one of the most painful yet transformative experiences a person can endure. Rejection doesn't just sting, it cuts deep into the core of who we are. It makes us question our value, our abilities, and sometimes even our very existence. It's a wound that can take many forms: of denied opportunity, a broken relationship, or a door slammed in your face when you were sure it would open. Rejection is personal, and that's what makes it so powerful. But the truth is, rejection is not a verdict on your worth. It's often a redirection to something greater. The first thing you need to understand about rejection is that it is inevitable. No one who has ever pursued anything meaningful in life has escaped rejection. The greatest leaders, the most successful entrepreneurs, and the most celebrated artists have all faced it. They've been told no, dismissed, overlooked, and undervalued. The difference between those who are broken by rejection and those who rise above it is how they respond to it. Rejection can be a tombstone, or it can be a stepping stone. It all depends on what you choose to do with it. Rejection has a way of challenging your identity. When someone tells you that you're not good enough, that you don't measure up, or that you're not what they're looking for, it's tempting to internalize those words and let them define you. But rejection is not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of the circumstances, the timing, or sometimes even the person doing the rejecting. Your worth is not determined by someone else's inability to see your value. Just because they don't recognize your potential doesn't mean it's not there. The world is full of stories of people who were rejected by one person or one group, only to go on to achieve greatness in a different arena. One of the most significant lessons rejection teaches is resilience. Every time you're rejected, you're faced with a choice to give up or to try again. Rejection forces you to dig deep, to find strength you didn't know you had, and to keep moving forward despite the pain. It's in those moments of perseverance that you grow the most. Rejection pushes you out of your comfort zone and compels you to adapt, innovate, and become better. It's a crucible that refines you, shaping you into the person you were meant to be. Rejection is also a teacher of clarity. Sometimes rejection happens not because you're not capable, but because the opportunity or the person wasn't right for you. A closed door can be a blessing in disguise, protecting you from situations that would have hindered your growth or taken you off course. Rejection has a way of forcing you to reevaluate your goals and align your efforts with your true purpose. It may be painful in the moment, but often when you look back, you realize that rejection was actually redirection, pushing you towards something better. Another truth about rejection is that it can deepen your empathy. Experiencing rejection gives you a first-hand understanding of what it feels like to be excluded or undervalued. That understanding can make you more compassionate, more kind, and more supportive of others. It can teach you to look beyond the surface and see the potential in people who may not fit the mold or meet conventional expectations. Rejection, when embraced with the right mindset, can make you not only stronger, but also more human. Finally, rejection challenges you to hold onto your vision even when others don't see it. It's easy to stay motivated when everyone is cheering you on, but rejection forces you to cheer for yourself. It compels you to believe in your dreams when no one else does. It's a test of your commitment and your conviction. If you let rejection silence you, then you were never fully invested in the first place. But if you let rejection fuel you, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Rejection will come, but it doesn't have to break you. It's not the end of the road, it's a part of the journey. Each no brings you closer to the right. Yes, each closed door leads you closer to the open one that was meant for you. So when rejection comes, and it will, don't shrink back. Stand tall, take the lesson, and keep moving forward. Your worth is not up for negotiation, and no rejection can take away what you're destined to become. Keep pressing on. The test of loneliness is one of the most profound challenges you will face on your journey through life. Loneliness is not merely the absence of people, it is the feeling of being misunderstood, isolated or left to navigate the toughest battles on your own. While it may seem like a punishment, loneliness is often a tool for refinement. It's a season in which you're stripped of distractions and forced to confront your own thoughts, fears, and weaknesses. It's a space where transformation happens, but only if you are willing to embrace the silence and learn from it. Loneliness is inevitable for anyone pursuing a higher purpose. The road to greatness is often a lonely one because it requires walking a path that others may not understand. People may question your choices, doubt your vision, or simply be unable to keep up with the pace of your growth. In those moments, you will feel the sting of separation. It's tempting to view this isolation as a sign that something is wrong, but it's actually a sign that you are being set apart for something greater. Not everyone can go where you are going, and that's okay. In the loneliness, you come face to face with your true self. When the noise of the world fades and the opinions of others are no longer there to shape you, you begin to see yourself more clearly. This can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront parts of yourself that you may have been avoiding. Your doubts, insecurities, and unresolved issues come to the surface, demanding your attention. But this confrontation is necessary. Growth requires self-awareness, and self-awareness often requires solitude. In the stillness, you have the opportunity to work on yourself in ways that are impossible when you're constantly surrounded by others. The test of loneliness also challenges your ability to stand firm in your purpose. It's easy to stay committed to your goals when you have a team cheering you on, but what happens when the applause stops? What happens when you find yourself alone with no one to affirm your dreams or validate your efforts? This is the moment when your why becomes crucial. If your purpose is rooted in an external validation, loneliness will break you. But if your purpose is rooted in something deeper, something internal and unshakable, you will find the strength to keep going, even when the journey feels isolating. Loneliness is not just a test of your endurance, it's a test of your faith. When you feel like no one understands you, do you still believe that you are on the right path? When it seems like the world has forgotten you, do you trust that you are not forgotten by the one who gave you your vision? Loneliness has a way of stripping away all the things you've relied on for comfort and security, leaving you with nothing but your faith. And it's in this place of vulnerability that your faith is strengthened. You learn to lean not on your own understanding or the approval of others, but on the certainty that your purpose is bigger than your current feelings of isolation. There is also a profound creativity that is born in loneliness. Some of the most groundbreaking ideas, works of art, and innovations have come from moments of solitude. When you are alone, your mind has the space to wander, to imagine, and to create without the interference of outside voices. Loneliness, when embraced, can become a fertile ground for vision and inspiration. It's not an empty void, it's a blank canvas waiting for you to paint something extraordinary. Lastly, loneliness teaches you resilience. It forces you to become your own source of encouragement and motivation. You learn to pick yourself up when no one else is there to do it for you. You develop an inner strength that cannot be shaken by external senses. This resilience becomes a foundation for everything you will accomplish in the future. The test of loneliness is not easy, but it is necessary. It's in the solitude that you grow, refine your character, and align yourself with your purpose. While loneliness may feel like an empty space, it is actually a sacred space, a place where transformation. So when you find yourself in this season, don't run from it. Embrace it. Learn from it. And trust that it is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. The test of betrayal is one of the most painful and personal trials you will ever face. Betrayal doesn't just wound, it shatters trust, undermines your sense of security, and leaves you questioning everything and everyone around you. It is a unique kind of heartbreak because it often comes from those closest to you, people you trusted, loved, or relied on. Whether it's a friend who turns their back on you, a colleague who undermines you, or a loved one who breaks their promises, betrayal cuts deep because it strikes at the core of our relationships. Yet, despite its pain, betrayal has the power to refine you, teach you, and even elevate you if you allow it. The initial impact of betrayal is overwhelming. It feels like the ground beneath you has been pulled away, leaving you disoriented and invulnerable. You question yourself, wondering if you missed the signs or if you were foolish to trust in the first place. You may feel anger, resentment, or even shame. These emotions are normal, but if you dwell on them too long, they can become toxic, holding you captive to the betrayal itself. The real challenge in the test of betrayal is not just surviving the hurt, but learning how to grow beyond it. Betrayal reveals the fragile nature of human relationships. People are imperfect, and sometimes even those with the best intentions can fail us. Recognizing this truth doesn't mean excusing the betrayal, but it does mean understanding that no human being is infallible. Betrayal forces you to confront this reality and decide how you will respond. Will you let it harden your heart, making you distrustful and bitter, or will you use it as an opportunity to develop resilience, wisdom, and discernment? One of the hardest lessons of betrayal is learning to forgive. Forgiveness is not about condoning the betrayal or pretending it didn't happen. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of bitterness and anger that can consume you if left unchecked. Holding on to resentment only deepens the wound, keeping you chained to the pain of the betrayal. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way to reclaim your peace and move forward. It doesn't mean you have to reconcile with the person who betrayed you or let them back into your life. It simply means you refuse to let their actions control you any longer. Betrayal also teaches you to depend less on others for validation and strength. When someone betrays you, it can feel like a part of your foundation has been shaken. But in that shaking, you are given the chance to rebuild not on the fragile promises of others, but on the solid ground of your own inner strength and faith. Betrayal strips away the illusion of security in others and redirects you to a deeper source of stability within yourself. It reminds you that your worth is not tied to how others treat you, but to who you are at your core. Another powerful outcome of betrayal is clarity. When someone betrays you, they reveal their true character. While this revelation may be painful, it is also a gift. Betrayal exposes who is truly for you and who is not. It allows you to remove toxic influences from your life and surround yourself with people who genuinely support and uplift you. Sometimes betrayal is the catalyst for necessary change, a way of clearing the path so you can move forward without being weighed down by relationships that were never meant to last. Finally, betrayal can be a stepping stone to elevation. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in life come after the deepest betrayals. The pain of being betrayed has a way of sharpening your focus and strengthening your resolve. It can push you to rise above the circumstances, proving to yourself and others that you are stronger than the betrayal. Many times, betrayal comes just before a season of significant growth or blessing, as if it's a test to see if you're ready for the next level. If you can endure the betrayal, forgive, and move forward with grace, you position yourself for greater opportunities and relationships in the future. The test of betrayal is not one that anyone seeks, but it is one that everyone will face at some point. While it may feel like a crushing blow, it is not the end of your story. Betrayal may shake you, but it cannot break you unless you let it. It is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So when you face the sting of betrayal, don't let it defeat you. Use it as fuel to rise higher. Remember, betrayal is not about who hurt you, it's about how you respond. Let the betrayal refine you, not define you. The test of failure is one of life's most humbling yet transformative experiences. Failure doesn't just expose our weaknesses, it forces us to confront them. It can feel like a weight pressing down on your chest, a reminder that your best efforts fell short. For many, failure is a source of shame and discouragement, a signal to quit or lower expectations. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the journey toward it. The way you handle failure determines whether it will crush you or propel you to new heights. Failure is inevitable for anyone striving to achieve something meaningful. The higher the goal, the greater the likelihood of stumbling along the way. Yet society often treats failure as a final verdict, as if one setback defines you forever. This mindset can be paralyzing, making people afraid to take risks or try again after falling short. But the most successful individuals understand that failure is not the end, it's a lesson, a stepping stone, a chance to reevaluate, adapt, and grow. When you fail, the first thing you must confront is your own ego. Failure has a way of stripping away the facade of confidence and exposing your vulnerabilities. It can be embarrassing and humbling, but this is where growth begins. Ego often prevents us from seeing our mistakes clearly or admitting where we went wrong. But when you let go of the need to appear perfect, you open yourself to learning from the experience. Failure isn't about who you are as a person, it's about what you did and how you can do better next time. The ability to separate your identity from your mistakes is crucial if you want to grow beyond them. Failure also tests your resilience. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well, but true strength is revealed in how you respond when everything falls apart. Do you give up and walk away, or do you pick yourself up and try again? Resilience is built in the moments when you feel like quitting but choose to persevere anyway. Each time you rise after a fall, you become stronger, more determined, and more prepared for the challenges ahead. Failure, when embraced, can become the training ground for your greatest achievements. One of the most valuable gifts of failure is the clarity it provides. When you fail, you gain insight into what doesn't work, which is just as important as knowing what does. Failure forces you to examine your actions, strategies, and decisions with a critical eye. It shows you where adjustments need to be made and where you may have overlooked important details. Sometimes failure is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you need to refine your approach. It's a teacher, not a tormentor, guiding you toward a better version of yourself and your plans. Failure also challenges your patience. In a world that glorifies instant success, failure reminds you that greatness takes time. Some of the most iconic achievements in history came after repeated failures. Thomas Edison famously said that he didn't fail 10,000 times when inventing the light bulb. He simply found 10,000 ways that didn't work. His perseverance exemplifies the power of persistence. Failure isn't the final chapter unless you stop writing your story. Each setback is an opportunity to regroup, refocus, and try again with greater wisdom. Another profound lesson of failure is the humility it instills. It reminds you that you don't have all the answers and that even your best efforts can fall short. This humility is not meant to discourage you, but to keep you grounded and open to learning. It teaches you to seek advice, collaborate with others, and remain teachable. Failure levels the playing field, reminding you that everyone, no matter how skilled or accomplished, has experienced setbacks. It connects you to the shared human experience of striving, falling, and back up again. Finally, failure strengthens your faith in the process. When you've done all you can and still fall short, it's a reminder that some things are beyond your control. Failure pushes you to trust the journey, even when the destination feels far away. It teaches you that success isn't always about immediate results, but about perseverance, growth, and staying true to your purpose. The most significant breakthroughs often come after the darkest moments, when you refuse to let failure have the last word. The test of failure is not about avoiding mistakes, it's about how you respond to them. Will you let failure define you, or will you let it refine you? Will you let it refine you? Will you let it diminish your belief in yourself, or will you let it fuel your determination to try again? Failure is not a stop sign, it's a detour, redirecting you toward a better version of yourself. So when you fail and don't give up. Learn the lesson, adjust your course, and keep moving forward. Failure is not the end, it's the beginning of something greater. The The test of pressure is one of the most revealing and defining challenges you will face. Pressure is an inescapable part of life, and it comes in many forms: the weight of responsibilities, the demands of expectations, the fear of failure, or the urgency of time. It pushes you to your limits and forces you to confront the question, what am I truly made of? While it may feel overwhelming, pressure is not designed to destroy you. It is meant to reveal your strengths, expose your weaknesses, and shape you into the person you need to become to fulfill your purpose. Pressure comes when life's demands exceed your immediate capacity to handle them. It's the moment workload is heavier than you imagined, the stakes are higher than you anticipated, and the outcomes feel more uncertain than ever. In these moments, many people crumble because they believe they're not equipped to handle the weight. But pressure doesn't come to those who are incapable, it comes to those with the potential to rise. If you weren't capable of enduring it, it wouldn't have shown up in your life. Pressure is a sign that you're being stretched beyond your current limits to prepare you for a greater capacity. One of the most profound truths about pressure is that it reveals character. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to maintain composure and confidence. But when the heat is on and the challenges multiply, that's when the real you emerges. Do you panic, give up, or cut corners, or do you dig deep, stay focused, and press on? Pressure exposes whether your foundation is solid or shaky. It reveals the habits, beliefs, and mindsets that either support or hinder you. While this exposure can be uncomfortable, it is also an opportunity for growth. Pressure shows you where you need to improve, and it gives you the chance to strengthen those areas. Pressure also forces you to prioritize. When you're under the weight of multiple demands, you can no longer afford to waste time on trivial matters. Pressure sharpens your focus, compelling you to separate what's essential from what's not. It teaches you to let go of distractions, delegate tasks, and concentrate your energy on what truly matters. Without pressure, you might continue to spread yourself too thin, but in the crucible of a high-pressure situation, you learn the art of saying no to the unnecessary so you can say yes to the vital. Pressure challenges your problem-solving abilities. It demands creativity, adaptability, and resilience. When the usual methods don't work, pressure forces you to think outside the box and explore new solutions. It pushes you to innovate, to stretch your mind, and to find a way forward even when the odds seem stacked against you. Many breakthroughs, whether in business, science, or personal growth, have come under intense pressure. It's in those moments of struggle that new ideas are born and new paths are forged. Another powerful aspect of pressure is that it builds endurance. Much like a muscle being strengthened through resistance, your capacity to handle pressure grows the more you face it. Each time you endure a high-pressure situation, you become more resilient. You learn that you are capable of more than you thought. The things that once seemed overwhelming become manageable because you've been through worse and come out stronger. Pressure doesn't just test your limits, it expands them. Pressure also has a way of refining your purpose. In the midst of the weight and the struggle, you're forced to confront why you're doing what you're doing. If your purpose is shallow or unclear, pressure will expose that. But if your purpose is deep and grounded, pressure will solidify it. It's easy to stay committed when the path is smooth, but pressure tests your resolve. Do you truly believe in what you're working toward? Are you willing to endure discomfort and challenges to see it through? Pressure separates those who are merely interested from those who are truly committed. Finally, pressure pushes you closer to reliance on a higher power. When you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you realize that you cannot do it all on your own. Pressure has a way of humbling you, reminding you of your limitations, and inviting you to tap into strength beyond your own. It teaches you to trust in timing, to let go of what you cannot control, and to have faith that the pressure is working for your good, even when it doesn't feel like it. The test of pressure is not easy, but it is transformative. It's not here to crush you, but to build you. It's in the moments of greatest pressure that you discover your true strength, refine your purpose, and rise to new levels of capability and resilience. When pressure comes, and don't run from it. Face it head on, knowing that it is shaping you into the person you were created to be. You're stronger than you think, and the pressure is proof that you're being prepared for something greater. The tests of life pain, loneliness, betrayal, failure, pressure, and more are not designed to destroy you, but to define you. They come not as punishments, but as tools to refine, elevate, and prepare you for the purpose you are called to fulfill. Each test has a purpose to reveal your strength, build your character, and align you with your destiny. While these tests may feel overwhelming, remember that they are temporary, but the growth they produce is eternal. The secret to overcoming these tests lies in your perspective and response. Pain is not the end, it's a path to power. Loneliness isn't rejection, it's redirection. Betrayal doesn't weaken you, it reveals the truth and strengthens your resolve. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you, and pressure isn't a burden, it's the force that brings out your brilliance. You are stronger than you realize, and every test is proof of your capacity to endure, learn, and rise. These tests are the making of you. They are shaping a version of you that is wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Do not fear the test, for they are not here to break you, but to build you. Trust that every trial you face is a stepping stone to something greater. You have what it takes to overcome. Keep going, keep growing, and know that the tests of life are setting you up for triumph. No excuses. Life will test you, and it won't wait for you to be ready. Pain will come. Loneliness will isolate you. Betrayal will cut deep. Failure will cut deep. Failure will knock you down. And pressure will weigh heavy on your shoulders. But none of these tests give you permission to quit, to complain, or to make excuses. Excuses are the language of mediocrity, and greatness demands more. The challenges you face are not here to stop you, they are here to strengthen you. You must refuse to let pain paralyze you, refuse to let loneliness make you bitter, refuse to let betrayal turn you cold, refuse to let failure define you, and refuse to let pressure break you. The tests are not here to hold you back. They are here to reveal your resilience, sharpen your focus, and prepare you for the level you're destined to reach. Every excuse you make is a step further from your potential. Every decision to push forward is a step closer to it.